Excuse me. What's up, guys? Just kind of waiting to see if anybody gets on. This was asked, if you see in the description, it says the good, bad, and the ugly electric kit versus acoustic kit. I've been asked this several times, and I figured I'll do a live on it. And then I'll move that live over to my YouTube channel so that it's on there. We'll talk about it, and I want to see if anybody gets on here first. I know a lot of people are probably out either playing or chilling or enjoying the beautiful weather. So I don't know how many. I was just asked this about an hour ago. So, gentleman by the name of Steve. I don't use last names, but a guy by the name of Steve. And it's actually a very, very good question. And there definitely are pros and cons to electric versus acoustic. And we're going to discuss them. All right. So, I may not get anybody on here, and that's fine. Like I said, I'll put this up on my YouTube channel. So, the difference between electric versus acoustic drum sets is, it depends on the kit, the electric kit that you get, number one. That's the first and foremost. Depends on the cheaper the kit, the cheaper the kit, the cheaper the kit. You get what you pay for, type of thing. So, shh, my wife's coming. Don't tell her I was talking about her. What?
When you're done,
Yeah.
need you to call, I'm getting in the shower, need you to call, Greg, Cammy's hubby. Cover emergency.
Who the hell's Cammy? Which one? Oh. Yeah.
We only have one Cammy
Yeah,
as a customer.
Yeah. Does it have to be tonight?
It's probably the cable cover, the cable that broke. She said, hubby said something about a wire broke on cover. It's caving, water got in, blah, 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 blah. We are going to go out Tuesday to look at it just to make sure that it is the cable, because if he wants to keep the cover on until they open, we need to get another cable.
I would just do a pull through and take it off.
Well,
But
I'm going to send you...
Just tell her to take a picture of it so that we can see what happened.
She's in the hospital.
Oh, again? All right. Whatever.
I'm going to send you a screenshot of the phone number.
Why can't you call when you're done? I don't know how long I'm going to be on here.
Well, I'm taking a shower. She asked if you could give him a call.
Well, we'll see what time I'm done here. All right, anyway. So, electric versus acoustic.
Electric, you plug in. Acoustic, you don't.
Jesus Christ. All right. Anyway.
Oh, don't say that. You're going to get banned.
Yeah, right. No, I'm on Facebook.
Oh.
All right. So here's the deal. Electric versus acoustic is a question that I have been asked several times now. I will be honest with you, and I see benefits to both, and I see uglies to both. Having played now on a nicer, I just got this one. This is an Elise. This is an Alesis Nitro Pro XL. That's the one that I have. I like this one. Now, I had an older Alesis. I don't even remember the number. I had an older Alesis, and it did not have the mesh heads. It sucked. I hated it. There's certain things that were very difficult to do with it, such as one of the things was ghost notes. Where you hear what I mean? This already had ghost note ability in it. The other one I had to fight to get them programmed in there. All right. I had to figure it out because they said you couldn't do it. I had to figure it out. This one already had that sensitivity to it. The other one had regular heads on it. The problem with that was they were louder than the freaking acoustic heads. When you would hit them, well, let me turn this off for a second. So when you would hit them, see how you hardly hear that? With the other one, I couldn't even use it as a practice pad in the middle of the night. The practice pad, it was louder than the practice pad. This one, I can use this as a practice pad anytime I want because you hardly hear it. Now, that being said, I have rubber tips on my sticks that I use for this. I may even use these on my acoustic set. These rubber tips are badass. I don't know if you drummers out there know anything about these. I found out about these by accident. I'm going to tell you what, I love these rubber tips. These rubber tips are freaking badass. I love them to death. Number one, they help with rebound. All right, they help with rebound, and they keep it a little quieter as far as your actual hit, so you hear more of the drum rather than the stick hitting the head. And they also help elongate the life of the head, make the head last longer because you're not hitting it with a rubber, or you're not hitting it with a wood directly with a wood tip. So now I haven't played on my acoustic ones with these on there yet. They're stacked back there. I can't play them here because I have a house neighbors literally right through that wall. So I am in the attic, but that thing is still loud. So I have this, but I'll tell you right now, I want to try these on an acoustic kit. I think these are going to be pretty badass. But like I said, they help save the head too. All right. These rubber tips you can buy on Amazon. They're badass. I'm telling you, I love these things. So anyway, acoustic versus electric. Obviously, the acoustic kit for a very large venue, you're going to probably want to use the acoustic kit. All right. Could you use the electric? Yes, you could. The cool thing, let me go with the positives on the electric. Number one, you don't need the wall around you. That plexiglass wall. You don't need it. Number two, you plug directly into the PA, into the board. You control your volumes. So you can bring your volumes anywhere you need them to be. Okay? Number three, this is something that's really badass. This I got to turn it on for. One of the things is you can actually add voices to the drum set. What the hell? Hold on. You can actually add voices to the drum kit on the rim. On the rims of the drums. So snare, there's your side stick. Snare, side stick. Okay. Tom 1, there's the tom. I wanted a cowbell. I put it on the rim. Tom 2, I wanted a China cymbal. Put it on the rim. Tom 3, I have double bass, and I wanted to have a closed hi-hat for both double bass and for double hi-hat patterns, I put it on the rim of tom number 3. I don't have anything on tom 4 currently. So there are definite benefits to the electric kits. So I have nothing else. I just added them to the rims of those drums. All right, so that's another benefit. Now, I will say this. The one that I have is not the top of the line kit. Okay? I would play a show with this. I would have no problems setting this up to play a show. Not a problem at all. Because I know the kit. Okay? But this is not the highest grade kit you can get. It's not the highest level kit you get. Okay? I didn't buy the highest level because I'm not doing a whole lot with it right now. Until I get a band together or start getting calls that's actually doing something, then I'll look into getting an even nicer one. For right now, this works just fine. But I would play a show with this kit. This kit is fine. Okay? The higher end kits, you could obviously do more with them. The nice thing about this one is this is one step below the really nice ones, like the $2,500, $3,000 ones. But the brain, the module of this one, has some of the effects, the sounds, and some of the options of the higher dollar kit. Not all of them, but it has some of them. Okay, so this is not your cheapest set. All right. So Alesis is a very good name. Now I had another Alesis. That's the one I didn't like. And then I had a Roland V kit. The Roland V kit was old as shit. I got it from a cousin of mine, and it was pretty beat up when I got it because he really wasn't a drummer. So it was pretty beat up when I got it. I didn't care for it. But that may have been, well, that didn't have mesh heads either. That was before the mesh heads came out. So this one I really like. The Alesis, I love the Alesis kit. I really do. It's a great set. All right. One of the downfalls of it is there is a ever so slight, and until you play it, you're really not going to notice it, but there is like an ever so slight kind of a delay when you hit. All right. If you're not playing it, you don't really see it. But when you play it, you can kind of feel there is a very slight. All right. Now, I may have gotten rid of some of it because I messed with the settings a little bit, like the sensitivity, the threshold and stuff like that. So I might have gotten rid of some of it, but I did notice there was an ever so slight little delay. All right. The heads do not come tightened. Oh, that's another cool benefit. You don't have to tune. You never have to tune them. The only thing you got to do is you got to check the tension of the heads. But they're mesh, so they really don't lose tension. They haven't lost tension for me anyway. But you don't have to tune. The tune is in the sound. The other nice thing about these is you can actually make multiple kits. Okay? I can add drum sets to this, like you make your own. The sounds that I have for my drums in here are not the original sounds that it started with. I picked my own toms that it had in here already. I picked my snare. I picked my hi-hat sound. You can pick your hi-hat sound for open, the pedal close, and closed. And what I did was I have this hi-hat and this hi-hat are the same closed. That way, if I want to do like double hi-hat patterns, they sound the same. All right. If there's any questions, just shoot them out. I have no problems answering while I'm talking. I will answer you. But I wanted to get this question answered because I get this question a lot. Coffee. The other cool thing for recording, now I don't do any recording yet. I'm not set up yet. I want to get a MacBook and download Logic Pro. I have a Windows laptop right now. Excuse me. The recording is plug and play. Plug into the back with the cord, and I have it plugged into my laptop now. It's just that the only thing I have is BandLab, which is now Cakewalk, which I think they screwed up, because I had BandLab before on its own, before they merged or whatever they did with Cakewalk, and I think they were much easier to deal with when it was BandLab alone. Now that it's Cakewalk, it's very, very confusing, especially for somebody who's not a techie. With computers and stuff like that. Like, I know my way around how to use one, but I've never done all the DAW stuff, all the DAW stuff. I've never done any of that, so it's very confusing. But I'm an engineer. I'm a drummer, not an engineer. So, I would like to learn, but I haven't had the time. I've been messing around with different shit. So I do have double bass. Now that's another thing. On this particular set, the double bass, I have a pedal. I don't have, and it's on a single, the single bass drum that it came with. That's what I use. I have not had any problems with picking up the beats from the double bass. Okay. Now, if you get too fast, yeah, I'm sure you can have an issue, but there are ways around that in the sensitivity settings and stuff like that. Okay, there's ways to get around that. I followed the instructions as far as where to put the beaters. The beaters go higher up because the pickup for the bass drum is not in the middle. It's towards the top. It's about a quarter of the way down from the top of the bass drum head. That's where the pickup is. So that's roughly around where you want your beaters, just below that. All right, that's where I put mine, and I get pretty good action. I get pretty good. I don't really have skipping. Occasionally my foot will bounce on it, and I'll get a double trigger. It is what it is. I used to get that on my regular kit. What was I just gonna say? Oh, you can plug directly into the module on this and hear the kit out of there. You can also run music through here, and here just you can hear it. I have mine through my PA system. I have a PA system here, and that's for when I do the live videos that you guys have probably seen. I do a lot of stuff when I'm not banned, when I'm not restricted. I do a lot of shit on TikTok. I actually have a page on TikTok right now. My old page got restricted permanently, so I'm trying to get my new page built up. The new page is G Nation, and the actual address on TikTok is G Nation Drummer. So if you want to go follow that, that'd be badass, because I got to get up to like 600 freaking followers before that page can go live. Now my other page is Gman79410 is the address. It's called G's Spot. That page I can go live on as of tomorrow again. Yes, that was restricted too. They don't like me, but that page I can still go live on because that's got 700 and some odd followers. I forget how many. The other page had 786 when they banned me, so I'm trying to get that page back. The G Nation page takes over the G-Man Drummer page, which is where I did all the music. The other page is where, like the G's Spot page, is where I was talking about swimming pool service and repair, fitness stuff. I was talking about stuff like that. But until my other page is back up and running again and I can go live, I'll do this stuff there too. To be honest with you, TikTok is actually better than Facebook in that respect because it's like worldwide. You hit, I can't tell you how many different states I've actually had just log on, because as soon as you go live, it's instantaneous. Everybody sees you. So those are the main differences. I prefer, I actually, in some ways I prefer the electric, because of the volume control is the main one, and being able to add voices without having to add all kinds of other shit. Like, I don't have to have a cowbell in here. I had a cowbell in my other one. Still have it on there. It's on the stand. I had a cowbell in the other one. This one I don't have. It's right on the rim. The other one I had a China. It's on the rim. The other one I did not have a closed hi-hat. It's on the rim. All right. The fact that you can actually change kits. So, if I wanted to do, something that sounded more, which I don't change my kit sounds. I use the same set for anything whatever I play, and I play a wide variety of shit. But the fact that you can change the kits if you want, you can have multiple kits on there is really cool. Like right now, the kit that's on there is a stock kit. It's kit number 137, I think it is. Or U37, excuse me. It's kit number U37. But you could change them around. You can make other drum sets. So you could pick a drum set for like jazz if you wanted to, and make that, number whatever. So why they started 37, I don't know. But there might be other kits in there. I never really looked, because this is the kit that I started with. This is the kit that this is the one that came up. It comes up automatically. Why it starts at 37, I have no idea. But this kit is the one that came up originally, and I just started adding sounds to it and customizing it. So I was like, well, I'm keeping it. This is just going to be my kit. When I turn it on, it's the first thing that pops up. It's just easy. I do not change, like if I'm playing, let's say I'm playing, I don't know, an Ambrosia tune, or, I don't know, a Richard Marx tune, and then I'm going to go to Queensryche. I don't change the kit. Same kit. I just play everything off the same kit. It's not that much of a difference that it's going to make that much of a difference. But I have to say, yes, that I do enjoy the benefits of, I believe the benefits outweigh the negatives of an electronic kit. The benefits outweigh the negatives. The volume control and the being able to add different voices to the instrument right on the rims of the drums, of the toms and everything. It's huge. It's freaking awesome. I don't have to go out and buy a cowbell. I don't have to buy a China cymbal. I just add them right to the kit, right on the rim of the drum. So, like I said, tom 1, cowbell right on the rim. Tom 2, China right on the rim. Tom 3, closed hi-hat right on the rim. You just add it to the rim. Snare, and then cross stick. All right, rim shot. So there are a lot of benefits to an electric kit. I do enjoy it. I hated it at first. Absolutely, I'm never playing electric kit. Fuck that shit. Well, I opened my eyes when I went on an audition for a band, and which they kind of screwed me over, because when I went on the audition, I told the guys, look, I've never played an electric kit with a band. I played one at Guitar Center, sat around, just goofed around on one, but I never played with a band on an electric kit. So that was the first setback. The second setback was they did the sound check, and I had the click here, and then I had the band here, and I had my drums were here with the band, and then the click was here. Well, I don't know what the fuck he did, but before we started playing, he got rid of it. I couldn't hear me. So I was playing to them, but I couldn't hear me at all. The problem that I ran into, which is what I was saying a little while ago about the ghost notes. They didn't have ghost notes. They didn't have the drum kit set up to do ghost notes. So when I was doing the ghost notes, they were hearing them as a regular snare. I didn't know that because I couldn't hear myself. So that was a dick move on their part, and they didn't want to hear it. I was kind of like, well, the guy was cool about it at first, but then he started listening to his asshole guitarist, who was like, oh, well, you played over my solo. I'm like, what are you talking about, played over your solo? I didn't play over your solo. Well, what it was I was doing ghost notes, and the ghost notes were coming out as regular hits. I just assumed that they had ghost notes set up, because I used a lot of ghost notes. One of the songs I use the ghost notes the most is Rosanna from, Toto, Jeff Vaccaro. I use ghost notes. I mean, that damn song is almost all ghost notes on the snare. So you have to have ghost notes in order to be able to play that song. Doesn't sound right if you don't. So I was under the assumption that the electric kits had that. I didn't know they didn't. So when I got my first Alesis kit, the last one I had that I didn't like, I went through and I studied, okay, how can I get ghost notes? And I programmed them. This kit kind of already had them. So that was a major, that was a learning curve for me. I was like, oh, all right, well, it's okay. So their kit wasn't set up for ghost notes. But not being able to hear the kit, not being able to hear me, I was in time, but not being able to hear me was a downfall. Like, I didn't know that they could hear every hit on the snare as if it was an off-time snare. I didn't know that. I thought they were hearing, which I do off-time stuff. I do it all the time. But I'm tasteful about it because I play a lot of prog stuff. Like, I play some Dream Theater stuff. I play a bunch of Queensryche stuff, Kansas, Boston, Toto. I play a lot of that stuff. And a lot of that stuff has prog in it, prog elements in it. I can do that. I also play some Contempt Jazz Fusion. I got that from Dave Weckl. So I know how to play odd time stuff. I know how to do displaced snares. That's what I was doing. And I was doing it tastefully, but it was coming out to them. A lot of it was in ghost notes. Well, it was coming out to them as a full snare. I didn't know that because I couldn't hear it. I couldn't hear me. And I told him, I was like, dude, you know, and he just messaged me not too long ago. He goes, you know, I don't appreciate you talking. I'm like, dude, well, you're an asshole. Like, you didn't even listen when I told you. You got to take it easy on me, dude. I've never played an electric kit with a band. He asked me once if I could hear myself, and then he made more changes, and then we just started playing. I couldn't hear myself when we started playing. So I was like, all right, well, whatever. So I was like, okay, as long as I know where they are and I can hear the click here and I hear the band here, I know what I'm playing. I'll just play. They can hear it. I don't really need... Well, yeah, I did need to hear myself because I didn't know that there was no ghost notes. So, lesson learned. But... excuse me. So... Yes, there's differences. Yes, there's ups and downs to both. But... my personal thought is... the upside outweighs the downside to the electric kit. Okay? The other cool thing about this, now I haven't done it yet. And I don't know whether I'm going to or not, but I understand that you can download sounds. You can download whatever drums you want. Like, let's say I wanted, you know, Jeff Piccaro's drum set or Scott Rockenfield from Queensryche. Let's say I wanted his drum kit. His drum tom sounds. Well, I could get them. I could download them into my module and choose them. So that's one cool thing. I'm told, again, I haven't done it and I haven't read up on it because I have no need to do that. But if I wanted that sound, I could do that. Another, from what I understand, cool feature. You can download different sounds. There's over 500 sounds in this thing already. There's over 500. So, now not all of them are great. I've listened to some and I've been like, why the fuck would they put that in there? But they did. So, not all of them are great. Some of the toms, they have like those boing shit. They have that shit in there, which I would never use that. They have shakers. They have the cowbell. I think they only have like 2 or 3 cowbells, maybe. The China cymbal, they only have a couple. Closed hi-hats, they have a few. Cymbals, they have a few. Some of them sound like tin cans. Bass drums, they have a few bass drums. Have a few snares. But you can, from what I'm told, you can download or upload, whatever you want to call it, other sounds, other electronic drum sounds into the module. And then you have them to choose from as options. Are there any questions? I don't think there's anybody even in here now. I know there were a few people kicked in watching. I guess I'm boring. Whatever. This coffee is so good. And by the way, programming these different sounds is extremely easy. The hardest part about programming these is finding the sounds in the module. Seriously. It's the hardest part about programming them. If anybody wants to see that, let me know, and I'll do another video on programming. How to program different sound effects. Different voices. Wherever. Alright? Yeah, I mean that's really all there is to it. I definitely see the plus side of an electric kit versus an acoustic kit. I definitely see a plus side. Absolutely. Do I prefer electric over acoustic? I don't think I'd go that far. I still love my electric kit. I mean, my acoustic kit. I have the one I have right now. I've played just about all of them. The one I have right now, I actually I had quit for a couple of years, and I'd sold everything. And when I wanted to get another kit, I was looking online, and a guy had a black and gray fade Tama 7-piece? Yeah, 7-piece Tama Superstar Classic for like, I don't know, $700 I think it was. Nice kit too. I was like, hey, that's pretty sweet. So grabbed $700. I think it was $750, whatever the hell it was. I don't remember now. You're talking like 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Maybe even 6. No, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. Drove over to Jersey to get it. My wife and I jumped in the vehicle and drove over to Jersey. We picked it up, and it's kind of a funny story. We get it all the way home, got it set up. I had bought another cymbal pack, which I have them over here. They're Sabian B8 Pros. I was waiting for them to come in, so I really hadn't been able to play it yet. Well, the guy contacts me about a week later. Same guy contacted me, and he sent me a picture of the small tom of this other kit, the one that I have now. And I'm looking at this tom and going, what the hell is it? That looks purple. Well, I don't have anything up here to show you. Purple's my favorite color. Has been since I was a kid. Darker purple, but purple. My drumming shoes are purple Chucks. Put it that way. So he said, would you be interested in trading for this kit? Because I know you like purple, because he and I had talked about that. He said, I know you like purple, and I would rather have the black. He's like, we can change heads over if you want, if you've done any work to it, whatever you want to do, but I would prefer to have the black if you want the purple. I was like, you know what, hell yeah. I think that color's awesome. It's called Indigo. It's purple. I mean, it's purple. I can't get it over there because right now it's behind some shit, so I can't get to it, or I would show you, but it's purple. So I was like, hell yeah. So my wife and I jumped back in her vehicle, went back to his place, swapped them out, and now I have a purple to gray fade 7-piece Tama Superstar Classic. And I love it. It does need new heads. But I love the kit. I love the color of it. And yeah, I love the kit. So would I prefer electric over acoustic? No, I wouldn't necessarily say that. But I definitely see the positives in an electric kit versus the acoustic. Now, if we're playing a big show somewhere, I would prefer a mic'd acoustic kit. If we go to like a little club and they don't care about sound, I'll play the acoustic. If they don't care about sound, so like, oh, whatever. But on the flip side of that, my band, well, I don't have one right now, but when I'm in a band or I'm playing with musicians, whether it's my band or I'm helping somebody out or whatever, I personally, whether the band is or not, I am very in tune with play for the room. So if I go to see the club or somebody tells me about the club and I go look at the club and I see a club is really small, I'm going to be like, all right, we're going to want to use the electric kit for this, or we need a plexiglass shield wall. I am very in tune with, I don't want to be too loud. Too loud muffles shit, and you sound like a pile of shit. So I'm very in tune with that. I look at the size of the room. I listen for the acoustics in the room, and I will set the band up for that. Like, I'm involved in sound check and everything. So, the one band that I had played with, it was a buddy of mine. I think he was actually the bass player. He was either the bassist or guitarist. I don't remember. It's too long ago. But they had a club that they were playing, and his drummer was sick, so his drummer couldn't show up. So he called me and asked me if I could sit in. Now, I happened to be able to because, number one, I wasn't doing anything that night. He asked me like 2 weeks in advance. Because his drummer, he asked me 2 weeks in advance for something, and then his drummer had gotten sick and had the flu or some shit. And he's like, I'm not going to be able to make it. So I was like, all right, whatever. So I had like a week and a half to plan it out and learn whatever songs. Now, most of their songs I already knew. So it worked out. There was only a couple songs I had to kind of fumble through. I think it was like 3 that I had to fumble through. I pulled it off because I had in-ear monitors, and I had the click track in this ear, and I had the band in both ears. No, I had the click track here and the band here. I do the click track on my left side because that's where my snare is. So I know as long as I'm hearing that click track, I know that I'm in the right spot. And the click track I usually do so that I know, or, whatever your tempo is going to be, so I know where the snare is. I hit it with the snare. All right? But when we got to the club, they had their own sound guy. Thank God. Because I walked up to the sound guy, and I didn't have an electric kit. I actually used their drummer's kit because they already had it loaded. They're like, dude, don't just bring sticks, and that's it. You don't need to bring cymbals, snare. You don't need to just use our drummer's kit. Because I play with finesse. I don't beat the shit out of my drum set. I play with a lot of finesse. So it comes from the Contempt Jazz Fusion and the prog, the progressive. So I'm very finesseful when I play. And their guy was like John Bonham. Like, that was one of his biggest influences. He beat the shit out of his kit. So, and Keith Moon. Matter of fact, he did destroy a couple kits, which I think is ridiculous. But, so, yeah, it's good for views, but spent a lot of money on drums. So when we got there, I was talking to the sound guy, and I said, when you start doing sound check, I want to come down here and I want to listen to everything because I want to hear it for myself. He goes, oh, wow, that's cool. And I was like, wow, you're okay with that? He goes, yeah, I'm trying to get these guys to do that so they can hear what I'm hearing. You know what I mean? But so I went out and listened. I had my buddy play my kit because my buddy could actually play a little bit. I had just play a regular drum pattern. A doof, da. Just play that. So we got all the sounds leveled really, really well. By the end of that night, that club owner I wasn't there. I took my sticks and jetted. I was gone. They told me, dude, don't wait around. We'll load up. Don't wait around. We're very particular about how we load up. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. But the club owner went up to my buddy and said, because they had played there before, they said that was one of the best sound checks. That was one of the best sounds for a band that they've had there because the sound check was spot on. You could hear everything. It wasn't too ridiculously loud, which, again, I play for the room. And I believe that's very important. So, like, we go to see bands. My wife and I go to see bands all the time. We see so many bands that just crank their freaking volumes. Louder is not better. I'm sorry, but it's not. Louder is not better. Play for the room. There was a couple times her and I actually had to leave. I'm a drummer. Like, I've been right next to amplifiers my whole life. Now that I have in-ears, I don't need to be right next to amplifiers. But I used to have amplifiers facing me. If your band is too freaking loud for me, you're fucking loud. And to me, that ruins the whole vibe. Because it starts to sound like mush by the time it gets out to the crowd. And the crowd's not enjoying it. Gives you a headache after a while, especially depending on what kind of music you're playing. So I am very big on playing for the room. When I was in my prog band, you're talking many, many years ago, but I was in the band for a long time. when we had that band, anytime we would play rehearsals or whatever, we always set the volume low. And we would play where we could still talk to each other. Like, even over my drums. Because I was, like I said, I don't beat the shit out of my kids. So, we would always have the volume down a little lower. That way we could talk while we were writing, rehearsing, composing, whatever we were doing, recording. Well, we weren't talking while we were recording, but we always had the volume set low. And people that would come and hear us are like, holy shit, you guys sound exactly like you do on the CD. Well, yeah, that's because we bring our volume, we had our volume set lower. Like, it wasn't ridiculously low. We would have to yell a little bit over it, but we could still talk. It wasn't ridiculously loud. You could be in the same room with us in a small room. Play for the room. Set your volume up for the room. All right. Nobody got on here, so I guess that's really all I have. I have no questions. So, if you see this and you have questions, you always send me a DM. I will answer you the best I can. I do want to say again to all the musicians that are following me right now, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. It's returned. Trust me. I am currently looking for musicians. If you want to know what I'm looking for, hit me up. I'm looking for basically 3 different projects, but I could do any one at any time. 2 of them you could do a combination. One of them you kind of can, but you really can't. If you want to know more, I'll explain that to you when you get a hold of me. If you want to contact me through email, stixdude72@gmail.com. That's my email address. You can contact me through here. You can contact me through Messenger. However you want to do it. All right. Thank you guys for all the follows. You're awesome. Everybody, please have a great week. Everybody be safe. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. All right? Have a great night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Love yous. Later. Keep rocking.